Hello there, I'm Chrissy. You found my YouTube channel, Chrissy Love, I review fragrance. Today I am doing a 15 perfume haul, a big old haul of perfumes. Many of them, most of them are real stunners, so real contenders for entering my permanent perfume collection. A few of them are already in that collection for sure. So I'm really excited to share these with you. And while you're here, if you want to give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe, I appreciate all the interaction. It really makes all of this more fun and more worthwhile. It's a lot of fun collecting perfume and talking about them, and that just is like the extra icing on the cake. I post here twice a week. I also post end of the day videos to my Instagram and TikTok, which I'll link to below. So without further ado, let's jump into my haul. So I'm going to start off with Kayali Citrus. I did an order from Kayali so I could get that new apple perfume, which I also reviewed in a flash review. I'll post a link to that in the description if you want to see that. And along with that, I also got the Kayali Vanilla Hand Cream and the Kayali Citrus because I hadn't had a chance to smell the citrus yet. Now, this has top notes of pink grapefruit, rhubarb, blackcurrant, bergamot, and pink pepper, mid notes of Bulgarian rose and damask rose, and base notes of oak moss, musk, and tonka bean. And on first spray on my skin, this was like a pungent blood orange and lemon. So it was really zesty, really fresh. It had a little bit of sweetness, but it was like really very pungent citrus. And the dry down, I got salted grapefruit vibes. I don't know if anyone else got that feeling, but it's really fresh and clean with just that hint of sweetness still. And performance-wise, it's excellent. Like, it projects, it lasts. So this is one I'm definitely gonna keep in my collection, keep playing with. You know, I don't use citrus perfumes very often, so this might actually be enough for me, this 10 milliliter bottle. But as far as citruses go, I love it. It is just the right amount of sweetness and the nice blend of different citruses. I don't really get rose in it. I do get it when I put my nose to the bottle, but on my skin, the rose didn't really come out. But I think this is a really beautiful citrus scent, and that is Kayali's Citrus 08. The next one was not really a winner, but it's one I want to talk about because it is from doTERRA, and doTERRA does not usually do perfume oils or like anything even designed to be perfume. They do essential oils, and I love my essential oils, but someone I know who sells doTERRA said that every once in a while they do a perfume like around the holidays, and this year's was Soul number 3. So this is the only size they have it in, and so I was like, well, I gotta at least give it a try. Now, I'm looking at their website here. It says it has notes of mandarin, sandalwood, divana, and vanilla. So of course those are all essential oils. And this, honestly, it's essential oils. Like, it doesn't smell like perfume. It's not very refined. I actually sneezed the first time I put this on. It was kind of off-putting. It doesn't really smell well blended either. So what I get is like an orangey scent with this dusty sandalwood. So it's bright and it's citrusy, but it's also kind of dry. So it's this weird blend. And the dry down, the florals come out. So, or what's I read as floral, so maybe it's Divana. I'm not sure what Divana exactly is. I probably should look it up in advance, but I think Divana is a floral. But it's like a zesty floral. So the citruses are still there, but I just don't like it. Like, it has this weird like bitterness from like natural oils. You know, I'm just not like a nature, natural, organic kind of girl. I guess I like my like designer perfumes with all the junk I know they come with. I know that, but I still like don't really like using essential oils as perfumes, even though they're probably better for you. Performance also is very poor. Now, this is a spray, so I was able to give it a good spray around, but it still didn't last very well, and it didn't project very well either. A real surprise for essential oils. Yeah, so this one's definitely going on my Mercari page. There's no way I'm keeping this. It's just really, honestly, not that good. I'm kind of sad about it because I was like, oh, I'll give doTERRA a real good try. Maybe, like, you know, this is something worth looking into more, using essential oils as perfume. So far, not, but I'm open to the idea in the future. This next one I came around to because of Sarah Mays' YouTube channel, and this is Givenchy's Organza Indecence, and I always saw it and thought that it looked kind of like old-fashioned and didn't really pay any attention. But when she talked about it, I got kind of excited about it. And this is a really small bottle, by the way. It's hard to find large bottles of this. It's really expensive, and it's discontinued. Now, it says top notes of Brazilian rosewood and patchouli, middle notes of Ceylon cinnamon and plum, and base notes of vanilla, amber, and musk. And on my skin at first, this is really nice. It's a sweet amber with this subtle cinnamon spice to it. So it's really warm and inviting. it has almost like a candle-ish type scent to it, more so than a perfume, but it's really charming. And that in the dry down, it keeps the amberiness, but it becomes more and more vanillic. So in the deep dry down, like after a few hours of wearing it, it's this like lightly sweet vanilla, and the spiciness really goes away. But in that mid-range, like between like 2 and 3 hours of wear, is where I think it's the best, because it still has a little bit of that cinnamon spiciness, but it's vanillic and very sweet. And for being kind of older, it doesn't smell too vintagey. It smells very mellow and like a really charming vanilla. So I absolutely adore this. And though it's really pricey, and even though the performance is kind of poor, like I said, halfway through the day, it's like kind of turned into nothing very special. I might still buy a full-size bottle, because this is a really beautiful scent to wear at night, really calming and delicious. And just for reference, I want to look at when it was, okay, it was released in 1999. So, oh my God, that was like 23 years ago. How's that even possible? But yeah, so that is a really lovely one. I'm excited to get a full or bigger size bottle up. So that is Givenchy Organza Indecence. This next one was a letdown for sure. There weren't too many of those, honestly, in the bunch, but this is one of them. And that is Bath & Body Works Forever Red Vanilla Rum. And I really should learn my lesson by now. I keep buying Bath & Body Works scents off of great reviews and thinking, oh, this will be different, this will be better. And they never really are worth their salt. But anyway, Forever Red Vanilla Rum. It has top notes of cassis, mandarin orange, and lily, middle notes of apricot, jasmine, and gardenia, and base notes of vanilla, rum, cashmere wood, and musk. And at first spray, it's like this plasticky, sweet apricot and berry type scent. And in the dry down, it's the exact same thing, like the apricot, berry, plasticky thing with this sweet vanilla base. But I'm not getting really anything boozy or complex or rum-like from it. It does have vanilla in there, but it still has this plasticky tang to it that I really don't like. And it gets this like berryness to it, which is kind of nice. In the deep dry down, like it comes a little more jammy. But overall, this is really just another Bath & Body Works scent. Like you can just like, maybe it's because I've smelled so many perfumes at this point, but you can just like smell the lack of quality in Bath & Body Works perfumes. Now, I love their scents. I use their body creams, their shower gels. I don't think their products are bad quality per se, but their perfumes just don't really stack up against more like designer mainstream perfumes, you know, houses of perfumes. They just don't really stack up in terms of quality, and I can just pick out the difference immediately. Performance-wise, it does stick to my skin pretty well, but the projection is really poor. So that's another reason why it's just not a fit. So yeah, this one just didn't really wow me. I was really excited about it being kind of like a limited edition, the vanilla rum version. I was like, oh, it's gonna be boozy, it's gonna be complex, it's gonna be different, but it really wasn't. So that is Bath & Body Works Forever Red Vanilla Rum. Honestly, do not recommend. Sorry if I'm offending anybody, but do not recommend. Now let's go back to a really, really, really positive note. I was able to score a full-size bottle of Maison Francis Kurkdjian Gentle Fluidity Gold. And I've did a review of like, I think 9 or so different MFK perfumes. I'll post a link to that below. And this is one that I completely fell in love with when I was reviewing it. And I have like a small little bottle left that I was nursing. And now I found this on Mercari for a really great price and was very, very excited to get it in my collection. Now this has notes of vanilla, amber, musk, woodsy notes, juniper berries, nutmeg, and coriander. And this is just a gorgeous vanilla. So on first spray on my skin, it's like an orange citrus with a sweet musky vanilla, and there's a little bit of a green note in there. But in the dry down, as in like within 20 minutes or less, it's really a gourmand smelling vanilla. It's very sweet, it's ambery and musky, it's cozy and comforting. There is a slight spiciness to it that really elevates it. And of course it has that MFK quality. Like you can just pick it out from a mile away. And performance-wise, it's largely a skin scent, but like the bubble is like small, but I think that makes it really sophisticated and classy actually. If you want real projection, you could just like spray it, like overspray it, you could get that. But I'm really happy with the performance. It really lasts on my skin and it maintains that quality on my skin. It doesn't like fade away into nothingness. It like really stays gorgeous vanilla on my skin. So that like ambery vanilla is, I'd say, the scent profile of it, and that little bit of spiciness really amplifies the elevation of it, or the elevatedness. I don't know. Anyway, if you haven't smelled it, please do yourself a favor, get your nose on it. If you like vanillas, you need this. It is just the most gorgeous scent. And I said before, I am so tempted to like just only wear MFK forever. Like there's like a few of their scents that I am completely in love with, and the rest of my collection just pales in comparison sometimes when I look at it. And I'm like, no, resist the MFK for a little while. You know, you have to wear your other perfumes, but they're so gorgeous and enticing. I just am obsessed with them, and I'm so glad that I have this in my collection now. So that is Maison Francis Kurkdjian Gentle Fluidity Gold. I am going back to a low note again, unfortunately, but I just really wanted to try this one because it's a brand new 2021 release, and that is Tom Ford's Ebene Fume, and I have this in the sample size. I watched a YouTuber review it and thought it sounded good, but I should have known better because smoky scents are always way too smoky on me. It's not their fault, it's my fault for just not knowing better. But in any case, the top notes on this are incense, palo santo, black pepper, and violet leaf. Middle notes are leather, papyrus, labdanum, cade oil, and rose, and base notes are resins, ebony tree, and guaiac wood. And this is like an extreme Palo Santo scent. It has this oiliness that I really don't like. It's peppery, it's leathery, it's woody, it's super strong, super intense, very masculine, very smoky. You know, from start to finish, that's really the scent profile. It's just like an incensey, smoky, woody, it's performance-wise, it's beast mode. I mean, yeah, it lasts, it projects, all of that. And if you like really woody scents, I think you'll like this. It's just like way too intense for me. But it's a quality scent. I really just should have known better. I'll be honest, that's my own fault. But I thought, you know, this other person reviewed it and thought it was really great, and so I have to give it a try. Yeah, I need to stop doing that. I need to listen to my instincts on this stuff. So anyway, that is Tom Ford's Ebene Fume. This is another one that's very popular on YouTube. It is Anais Premier Delice. And I also had some people comment that I should try it when I was reviewing other perfumes, and said that it was a great pear perfume, and I would agree with that. So this has top notes of pear, orange, bergamot, and galbanum, middle notes of peony and hyacinth, and base notes of cacao and cedar. And at first spray, this is like a juicy pear with florals, and in the dry down, it still retains that pear and floral profile, but it's really light and airy. This is like a fresh, fruity floral, very fresh. It feels light, it feels effervescent, it feels like spring day in the sunshine. It also smells a little bit commercial. Like it's definitely lacking an underpinning or depth that makes it really like a perfume. It feels kind of like a body spray, but a really, really good smelling one. So I can't argue with that. That's not a bad thing at all. Performance-wise, it lasted most of the day on my skin, but there's like pretty much no projection. That's why I say it's pretty much like a body spray. You just like kind of have to respray it again and again and again throughout the day. But in terms of a pear scent, it's a gorgeous pear scent. And the florals are not intrusive or bitter. It's like got the right amount of sweetness and freshness in it. So I'm going to keep playing with this one. I can see myself really loving this in the springtime. It's winter now. It's definitely not the season for it, but it's a cheapie, and I am glad that I got to experience it because it is really lovely. So that is Anais. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Anais, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. Premier Delice. Another stunner here. Is it a stunner? And it's been very much reviewed, so I'm not surprised, but I'm very happy. And that is Lancome's Oud Bouquet, which I have in a travel size. Oh my God, it's so incredibly gorgeous. I'm just blown away. So the notes on this, we have oud, praline, vanilla, rose, and saffron. And on first spray, it's like this soft oud and vanilla, but it's kind of a watery density. Like it comes off as very light on me at first and woody, of course. But in the dry down is when it's like incredible. It's this woody vanilla. That's the profile. And the vanilla has this cakey, sweet quality to it, kind of like a sponge cake. And there's like some praline coming out, and the woods are there, but they're not like smoky or too intense. It's like, it's really beautiful, mellow wood to it. So the woods don't dominate the scent. And it's like ambery, it's vanillic, it's satisfying. It definitely gets more intense the more I wear it, so it's a lot less watery the more I wear it. But I don't get any florals at all. But in the deep dry down, a little bit of spiciness comes out. So it gets more interesting. It develops really beautifully over time on my skin, and it never really falls flat or dull on me. Also, performance-wise, it's excellent. It projects, it lasts. Like, I think this bottle will last me like for quite a few wears. Like only a few sprays are really necessary. And this is beautiful in like fall and winter when you want to feel cozy and delicious. Yeah, I was worried because I was like, oh, an oud scent is going to be like woody and it's going to be like smoky and too much. But no, this is like a really accessible, beautiful oud scent, very vanillic. Absolutely gorgeous. So that is Lancome's Oud Bouquet. I am also very excited to welcome this lovely lady to my collection, and that is the 2021 Miss Dior release, and this has been getting so much hate. Now, I love the 2017 version. I do, but this is a really lovely new version, and I am going to covet my 2017 bottle because I hear it's discontinued now, but I am loving this new version, and I don't care what anyone else says. I am here for it. So this has top notes of iris, peony, and lily of the valley, middle notes of apricot, rose, and peach, and base notes of vanilla, tonka bean, musk, benzoin, and sandalwood. And I did a deep dive review of this when I did my flash review, so I'll link that below. So I'll just tell you quickly. On first spray, it kind of has like a bubble gumminess to it, which is why I guess it's not as sophisticated maybe as past versions of Miss Dior, but who cares? Who cares? I mean, it smells good. So it's bubblegummy with florals. It's very sweet. In the dry down, it has this beautiful sweet peach and apricot. It has this bright juiciness to it. It has kind of like a cotton candy feeling. There's a bit of that Miss Dior patchouli in the original 2017 version anyway, but that's really in the background. So it's a little more fruity, but not in a like Escada kind of way. It's like a really classy, juicy, fruity way with like this cotton candiness, sweetness, and patchouli. Performance-wise, it's great. I mean, it has quality ingredients. You can really tell. The longevity is great. It doesn't have as much scent throw as past versions, but it's a bit of a closer bubble, but it definitely lasts just fine. So I'm excited to have this in the full size and also in the travel spray. And look at this leather Dior. Oh my gosh, look at that. Beautiful travel spray. It feels so good to pull this out of the bag and go, oh, it just feels like heaven. So yeah, I am a huge fan of the 2021 Miss Dior. No regrets. I'm so excited to have it. I got it as a gift, so thanks, Dad. I asked for it specifically, and he got it for me, so thank you. I'm very appreciative. And true story, he bought me my 2017 Miss Dior, gosh, like 4 years ago, and that was one of the perfumes that really kicked off my serious journey into perfumes. So it kind of all feels full circle for me. And if they have a 2030 version of Miss Dior, I'll probably ask him for that too. It like feels kind of like a tradition. And I feel like the connection between the Miss Dior and my dad and you know, gifts with him. And anyway, that just kind of sweetens the deal for me. So yeah, I'm loving my Miss Dior 2021. This was a nice surprise I found in Mercari and wasn't sure about it, hadn't really heard anything about it, but looked it up in Fragrantica, got good reviews. Okay, let's give it a try. And that is Cremo's Spice and Black Vanilla, which is actually a cologne. I don't know if you can see the label here. This has top note of cardamom, middle note of cashmere wood, and base notes of bourbon, vanilla, and vetiver. And my boyfriend uses the body wash of this brand that like they are inspired by drinks. So like, I think it's like his smells like gin and tonic or whatever. But this is a really beautiful bourbon vanilla scent. So the first spray on me is very bourbon vanilla with a tinge of like pine or something. There's something kind of green and woody in there. Maybe it's vetiver, but it kind of has like an aftershave vibe. So when I first put this on my skin, I was a little nervous that it was truly a cologne. But in the dry down, it's this like spicy sweet vanilla. So the vanilla is definitely sweet. It still has this kind of aftershave feel, still a tad masculine, but this is like the kind of unisex that I like to smell like. It's got sweetness and vanilla, but it has like a little bit of edge to it that cologne offers. So I'm really loving this. I'm gonna keep playing with it. I'm not sure if it's too cologne-like, if I'm gonna really keep enjoying it or not. So I have to like, you know, give it a good try. Performance-wise, it has really excellent projection and longevity, so it's a great performer. So this is one, very unisex, gorgeous on anyone. So far, I'm really enjoying it. So it's Cremo's Spice and Black Vanilla. Now, I have been a fan of the La Nuit Tresor line for a while. My favorite is probably A La Folie. Second to that is Nude. And the Eau de Parfum I did declutter recently because I just like couldn't really compare to A La Folie. But in any case, I had never even heard of this one, and that is Tresor L'Eau de Parfum Lumineuse. I had not heard of it before. I'm not really a fan of the original Tresor. It's like a little bit old-fashioned for me, but I was curious about this one when I started reading the notes. So the top note is praline. The middle notes are damask rose and violet leaf, and the base notes are vanilla, woody notes, musk, and sandalwood. Now this came out in 2013, and La Nuit Tresor original Eau de Parfum came out in 2015. So I'm kind of curious if this was like the first stab at something, a departure from the Tresor Eau de Parfum. Now at first spray on my skin, it smells like candied violets with this sweet, delectable nuttiness. And in the dry down, I get this gorgeous tonka feeling with chocolate. It actually gives me blackberry vibes. It's kind of jammy in the dry down, but there's still this like background of realistic nuttiness, but not in a gourmand way, just in this like powdery, not too sweet, but just sweet enough kind of way. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. And it doesn't have the La Nuit Tresor DNA. I don't want to get confused. It's not like the first iteration of La Nuit Tresor. That's really, I find, more fruity. This is like the candied violets, nuttiness, praline, tonka kind of feeling for me. And it's not fruity like that. And I enjoy this actually, I think, more than, I mean, this really might be running up against A La Folie. This might honestly beat A La Folie now that I'm like really thinking about it. I adore it. Now this is still on the Lancome website, so I don't think it's discontinued. I think it's just not as well known at this point. So I am thinking this is a gem for my collection that I came across by happenstance, like just browsing. I think it was fragrancex.com. I just found it, and oh my gosh, this is amazing. So yeah, I'm excited to keep playing with this one. This is Lancome's Tresor L'Eau de Parfum Lumineuse. Now for a couple not quite stunners, to be honest, but they're not bad. I got this tester of Reb'l Fleur Love Always. I didn't really love, this is Rihanna's perfume, by the way. I didn't really love Reb'l Fleur. It was kind of like a plumminess that it was fine, but it was too fruity. This one has top notes of plum, red berries, and peach, middle notes of coconut, tuberose, violet, and hibiscus, and base notes of vanilla, patchouli, amber, and musk. And I really thought this might work. Like other people who reviewed it said the plum was really gorgeous. To me, this is just a patchouli bomb. It's like a searing, strong, in-your-face patchouli bomb with a little bit of plumminess in the background. And I do get, like, when I seek for it, a little bit of like vanilla and coconut in there. It is there. And maybe it's just my skin that's bringing out the patchouli more than I would really like it to. But yeah, I can't do this. It's way too much patchouli on my skin. I wish the other notes stood out more. If they stand out more on you, then I'm happy for you because that could be really lovely. Performance-wise, it's excellent. I mean, it has great projection, great longevity. It really sticks with you. So I hope this works for someone else because it is technically like nice notes and everything and good quality. But yeah, the patchouli in this just made it a no-go for me. We're down to 3 perfumes left, guys. So thanks for hanging with me this long. It's been fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you too. The third to last year is Prada Amber for her, or for Parfum, or whatever. It's the perfume version of Prada Amber. It has top notes of tarragon, bergamot, green notes, and fruity notes, middle notes of honey, carnation, ylang ylang, jasmine, and rose, and base notes of patchouli, amber, benzoin, sandalwood, vanilla, oak moss, and musk. This is a little intense. On first spray, it's a strongly spiced sandalwood and benzoin. So it reads kind of masculine. It's ambery and a little bit of sweetness, but it's mostly like dusty and spicy. But then the dry down, it's like an old-fashioned amber. It smells kind of heavy and dense, almost bordering on masculine, but it's kind of sexy, actually. It's a really nice unisex scent, in my opinion. It's kind of like an old-fashioned amber in the sense of like early 2000s, like that heaviness, like really dragged down kind of amber. Not gourmand at all, but still kind of sweet. Performance-wise, it's excellent. It lasts and projects beautifully. So this is one that it clearly has really quality ingredients and is like a nice spicy sandalwood kind of amber. So really gorgeous for winter and fall. So It's debatable if I'll keep it or not. It might be a little bit too heavy for me to like, I don't know, not fun enough, not light enough, not sweet enough. But it is a really beautiful quality amber that really reads as unisex to me. So yeah, it's worth giving some more time to, but I've already given it a full day of wear test and I wasn't quite sure about it. So that is Prada Amber Eau de Parfum. Second to last, I have Clean Reserve Solar Bloom. And I got this smaller size because you know me, I don't tend to buy full-size bottles unless they're a really great price. Now, Clean Solar Bloom has top notes of bergamot and mandarin orange, middle notes of coconut milk, orange blossom, freesia, and jasmine, and base notes of vetiver, coal, yeah, C-O-A-L, coal, and patchouli, but don't let that scare you off. On first spray, it's actually really strong with the coconut. It's mostly a coconut scent with some florals sitting in the background. There's also this odd plasticky note in it I don't really love. But in the dry down, it's basically a very realistic coconut. It has this breeziness to it, kind of has like a fresh soapiness in the background. Performance-wise, it has really great longevity. It really lasted all day on my skin, but it didn't project that well. It was more of a skin scent. But it's interesting. I think that the soapiness I'm smelling is like that coal inspiration. But basically, this is like a breezy, realistic coconut that smells, of course, clean and very fresh. I'm not really a coconut lover. This probably will not stay in my collection. I just can't really see myself reaching for it. But if you like coconut, but want something that's not gourmand, not too sweet, that's like really fresh, I think you'll really enjoy this. That is Clean Reserve Solar Bloom. Now I'm ending on a super high note. Next I have here Commodity Milk, which I've heard amazing things about. I was like, who wants to smell like milk? Gross. But no. This is a marshmallow scent. This has top note of milk, middle notes of marshmallow and natural musk, and base notes of mahogany and tonka bean. And this is the expressive version. So Commodity came out with 3 different strengths on all of its perfumes. Let's see, I wrote them down, so I'm like trying to find my notes. They are personal, expressive, and bold. So this is the middle one. This is expressive. And they're called Scent Spaces. And this has a very sweet, fluffy marshmallow scent. The tonka also stands out for me, which really grounds it and makes it more dense and beautiful. But it's sweet, it's delicious, it's fluffy, it's realistic. That lactonicness doesn't read as milk. It really just reads as more of that natural marshmallow scent. So it's very vanillic and yummy and delicious. Performance-wise, it has great longevity. And it has pretty reasonable projection. It's kind of a close scent bubble, but a beautiful layering scent, I think, and a beautiful scent in general. I'm definitely seeking out a full-size bottle of this. So thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you had fun. Thanks for being here. Let me know your thoughts on this video, and I hope you have a very beautiful day.